Thanks very much, Deputy Speaker. And I acknowledge all those that have entered into this matter this afternoon in good faith. And I think a fair few have, some haven't, or perhaps have taken their responsibility in regard to these issues in the former government to heart. But we should have respectful debate in this place. So it has been interesting to see the different aspects of this discussion that were pulled out by different members of the opposition. Uncomfortable, I think, with the bringing of the matter before this House, and it is questionable. However, in having a respectful discussion, the focus on process and proper consultation, valid points. The opposition did kick this cohort of people down the road. There's no doubt about that. But when we talk about a cohort, it's women and children. It's Australian women and children kicked down the road, which is a road to ruin. And anyone who understands what camps are like, camps full of displaced people in conflict areas, maybe the Shadow Minister for Defence has visited some of these. I know a lot on our side have visited such camps. They are incredibly dangerous places. They are incredibly unhealthy places. And they're places often where people don't want to be, and they don't want to be there for good reasons. To have Australian children growing up in inhumane camps with poor health, as a member for Macarthur pointed out, and poor access to any sort of education, which of course is the way that we battle radical ideologies through good education. Well, it's an environment that's very negative, and we, I think, as Australian children, these children to be returned is an admirable thing, but also a smart thing, given that the security agencies have recommended that we do that. So those opposite that are calling into question that advice, I would say the security agencies know a lot more than you do about this issue, so I'm happy to provide some points for you to reflect on. I understand the political motives behind what you're trying to do with this issue, and as unadmirable as they are, I think it's an important issue. Australian citizens, facing difficult situations. We're not going to know the full story behind why any decision was made. We never do when it comes to matters of the heart, matters of families, matter of cultures and traditions. But what we do know is we're much better off accepting, not rejecting people into our communities, because that leads to safer communities. It's been pointed out by previous speakers about the hypocrisy of the opposition in criticising the bringing of these children home, and I won't go over it again and again, but it is interesting to note, of course, that the Leader of the Opposition was specifically briefed by our national security agencies on this operation. And I would just say to him that he should know better, having held positions in government in the past, than to act in a dishonest way, having had briefings from national security agencies. The situations in these camps, as I've mentioned, are horrific. The amount of rape, the amount of assaults that go on, as well as sickness. Basically, these children are at constant risk of being injured or killed. A lot of kids die in these type of camps, and obviously they can also be trafficked. So let's just think about what we're really doing here. I think decisions have been made in the interests of national security, and a lot of people in this House and a lot of those in the opposition like to look to others around the world we're acting correctly as a global citizen.
Thank you.